Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. Now you may have watched my previous video where I removed the bicycle wheel from the bike, and in my other video where I removed the old tire and inner tube from the wheel. What I'm going to do in this video is install a new tire on this wheel, and then also obviously a new inner tube, because when you put several thousand miles on a bicycle tire, it's probably good practice to replace the inner tube as well. Even though if it doesn't get flat quickly, it could still have some very minor punctures in it that you don't really notice and cause you to break down the side of the road. So this is a really easy process. And there's one thing I'm going to reiterate. What you're going to want to do is look at your wheel. Now the rear wheel is easier because you can see the cogs on the back. So what you're going to want to do is make note of how that would be positioned on the bike, because that's going to determine which way your tread pattern on your wheel faces, because you don't want to put your tires on backwards. I mean, it's not going to create major problems, but they're designed to turn in a certain direction. And the tires I'm going to use, I got from performancebike.com. They're Forte 700 by 23s. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out so you can see it. That's the tire right there. These things are pretty neat. So we're going to look on the side of the tire. Always be careful with your wheels. You don't want to bend them and put them on the ground, so be very careful. And this should have a direction indicator on it somewhere. Okay, these tires were a little confusing. They didn't have it on the side, written on the sidewall, but they do have, if you look at the tread pattern, and you won't be able to see it in this video, but there's little arrows pointing in that direction. So you want to make sure those are pointing forward. So sometimes you'll see it on the sidewall, but in this it was like that. And then what I'm going to do, you need to make sure you use, obviously you need to make sure if it's Presta or Schrader valve. Most road bikes are Presta. So these are Presta tubes. These tubes I got from Nash Bar very inexpensively. And they're actually 700 by 19 through 26C. So this particular tire that I got from Performance Bike is a .700 by 23C. So this tube will fit. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get your inner tube out. Obviously don't put it on anything that's going to get dirty, because you could inadvertently pick up thorns and other things that would puncture it. Even if they didn't puncture it immediately, they could puncture it after you installed it in your tire. So take the little screw thing off of it. Okay, now this is a common mistake that a lot of people make. They try to put the tube on the wheel before they put it in the tire. So the first thing you're going to want to do is inflate your tube, not a lot, but just enough to give it a little bit of shape. I mean, literally just a couple pumps. And then that enables you to put your tube inside your tire. Because if you put your tube on your wheel first, it's going to make things really tricky. And then what you'll do is get your wheel And again, observing that tread pattern. So the arrows are pointing that way. So I need to put the tire, because that's going to be on the right side of my bike. And I need these arrows to point forward. So I've got those in the correct direction. I'm going to drop this valve through here. And then I'm going to put this little screw thing to hold the tube to the wheel. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. You're going to want to position this tire. You're gonna have to go around it with your hands. So you're keeping the inner tube slightly inflated on the inside, and you're trying to just kind of work this in here. It takes a little time. And now you notice I've got, well actually I almost had it. So you need to get this tube all the way in. So you got the wheel on, or the tire on the wheel rather, and then the tube in between there. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is just start on one side of the tire and position the tire between the tube and the rim of the wheel. And you may want to use your tire tool that I used to remove the tire to begin with. You may want to use it when you get towards this end part, because it can get hard on your fingers. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do that. Now once you get it, what you're gonna want to do is look at both sides of the wheel. And this is a very important step. You're gonna want to closely look and make sure there's no tube protruding. Because there was a time where I had tube pinched between the wheel and the tire, and I inflated it, blew up, made a loud pop. Okay, so all that looks good. Now, again, you want to pay attention to the PSI rating on your tire before you start pumping it. This one has maximum pressure. Let's see. Maximum recommended 110 PSI. So I'll probably put up to about 100 just to not get too close to that. You can check out my other video where I explain how to inflate a bicycle tire, but it's just to press the valve. You want to do it, put your pump on. And what I like to do when I'm inflating it after installing for the first time, I like to look at it as it goes and make sure I'm not getting any pinches. And keep in mind, to put it back on your bike, you're gonna have to deflate the tire a little bit so that it'll fit between the, between the brake pads. So there you have it. That's the tire that I just installed. And check out my other review where I review this tire. And share this video and any of my videos with others. Check out all my biking videos. youtube.com/IrixGuy. Y'all have a good day.